It is officially Sunday, post-demolition day. This RedBox right over here is a 40-yard dumpster, completely full, capped off. Oh man, and the wildlings are definitely confused now that we do not have the old dumpster. It is completely demolished. Flipped upside down, and we still got the metal framework there. My neighbor's actually gonna snag that once we take off all the bolts that were holding the flooring. And the barn is completely gone, as you can see. This is going to be more of the outro of all the shenanigans that happened yesterday. So you've more than likely already watched the Honda CR-V, the Mad Max, little Furiosa, as we've dubbed the car. It did amazing, honestly. That's what took down everything, which was so surprising. I was skeptical, I will admit. My cousin wanted to blast right through lengthwise of the trailer, and for the life of me, I kept thinking that it was going to take out the flooring once the weight of that thing hit, but it just blasted right through, walls intact, obviously, besides the front and the back. And then just blasting through the side and taking out the whole thing, concaving on top of it. It was awesome. My cousin's friends, Mike and Chris, came over. Chris is the one that had the skid steer. Had a couple hiccups. We got some flat tires, which was definitely a casualty of all of the metal and nails that we had reeled throughout. But no, I would say this was a successful weekend. My main goal was to make sure that everything was laying flat so we could work on it, chop it up ourselves. I am going to get another roll-off. I thought about doing it next weekend, but it's supposed to be in single digits. Didn't say it was going to snow, but it's way too freaking cold to get out here and chop up a bunch of stuff. Albeit it is January and it's still winter, but we're trying to progress as fast as we can. This little tree that I spotted last weekend is still standing. It took a little damage on one side, but it just popped right back up, which was very surprising. But no, I would say that skid steer, while a little bit smaller and older, did an awesome job. We were going to save a bunch of the cinder blocks that was supporting the trailer, but most of those are cracked and kind of broken. One little find that we had, I thought once we exposed the ground over here, we were going to find bones or carcasses or anything. But we did find this guy. It is a little cat skull. I might clean it up. It's obviously maybe a little morbid, but it might be a cool little memento to show what we found during the weekend. We did discover some piping underneath. Thankfully, there's no propane. It is a gas line. There's some electric out here as well, but that was all shut off before we moved in. So I think we'll obviously shut down the breaker. I mean, actually, I think it's under the house and it is shut off, so we should be fine to cut. And I mean, this whole area, this area alone is lower. It's maybe a foot or two lower. It's hard to get elevation right here. And then the dry lot, we're actually raising another 2 feet before we do any of the barn work. I do have an excavator coming in and bringing in a bunch of material. So I'm hoping that we can push some of that stuff over and bury what is dead connections. But yeah, and then the one goal that I wanted to have too, besides laying everything flat, was to make sure we didn't hit the spigot, which we didn't. Came really close. It was about a foot away from being taken out when we had the CR-V hitting everything over in the barn area. But yeah, I super thankful for everyone that came out. My uncle came over and helped us out too. We took out all of the windows before we blasted anything, trying to prevent the amount of glass that was going to be in the ground. Eventually, we plan on having goats and small animals out on the front side of the pasture of the property. And I would hate for glass to get embedded into hooves or feet or anything. I feel like that's about it for updates. Obviously, you're going to be watching all of the cool footage before landing here. I just want to talk a little bit, explain how everything went. I'm pretty damn happy, actually. I would have been a little bit more stoked if I had known that we were going to fill up the dumpster. If I had gotten another one, we probably would have been able to load the majority of this, if not all of it. So, learning process. But this is probably the last big demo that we have on the property. The only other thing that we're probably going to drop to the ground is this old shed. But that's something that can be handled later. It's out of the way. It's not involved with any of the new builds coming up. I mean, I'm probably going to put a hay barn right in this section, right over here. But that's easily like 25, 30 feet for a nice width of the hay barn. And then we can go pretty far back when we are done doing that. Anyways, I'm rambling. It's cold. I think we're done for the day. Try and comprise all the videos. And I mean, we had probably about 6 different GoPros, some drone footage. I don't know why I'm explaining all this. You're going to see it in the video. Just summarizing everything that happened over the weekend. It was a blast. And I think that little Furiosa was maybe like a couple hours before everything was just laying flat, which is impressive. So I will leave this here. Thanks for watching. I told myself that when I started uploading videos that I never wanted to say like and subscribe. But we are trying to grow the channel. We want to cover, obviously, everything that's happening out here on the property. My cousin will have more videos, I believe, of the CRV and everything that he was putting into it. He might have some time lapses on his channel. That's under Umstad Adventures. I'll link it below in the description and stuff. Definitely check out their channel. That's my cousin David, his son Jeremiah, and his wife Becky. They're trying to grow their channel as well. David, he's just a madman. He knows so much, has a lot of tools at his disposal, and obviously I get to reap some of the benefits when he builds just a little destruction derby vehicle to blast through everything. And that was able to get loaded up on the trailer even. No winch or anything needed. It had a couple flat tires before he left for the day. So, if anything, I owe a lot of people lots of slime to put into their tires. So, anyways, thanks for watching. You guys have a good one.